found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning out. Lightning in a bottle. I think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning out.
Oh. Yo. How you living? How you feeling? How you doing? This is First Choice Fantasy. We are back today with our second week of the playoff start sits, week 15. So congratulations if you made it this far. I'm assuming you probably don't need any more expert advice from us at First Choice Fantasy, but we're going to dish it out today anyway. How did we do last week? Do any of you know off the top of your head?
I believe we did fantastic all the way around.
That's it. Yeah.
Quarterback was an interesting situation. We had six quarterbacks, and they all finished within like 8 points of each other.
Is Elliott droppable? No. Is he playable? Droppable is a little over dramatic. He gets carries. He had Cincinnati last week, so screw him. It doesn't matter who he's playing.
Yeah, I want to point out that I went with the old
49ers this
combination, week. And those guys almost got 60 points combined, so you're welcome.
Wait, who got 6 points combined? Taylor and who?
Hilton. Not quite, almost. They were solid, like 3 points off.
It's crazy to see Jonathan Taylor finally snapping. I mean, after people – I've seen people calling him Trent Richardson on Twitter. It's pretty disrespectful. Call anybody that. Even Trent Richardson.
That is not very nice.
All right. Well, after we just went over our Week 14 sits, our report card, whatever the fuck it is. Week 15, okay? So, I guess we'll just – what's up?
No quarterback. We can't do quarterbacks. We're very bad at it.
I want to talk about quarterbacks.
Like I said last week, our starts and sits all finished within like 8 points of each other. All six of them. I don't even know how it's possible. So basically just take the 6 quarterbacks we have listed and just roll them out. Push them out.
Small sample size.
Honestly,
that's only 1 week, Alex. Yeah. I dominated a few weeks ago with quarterback. QB1 question.
I'm saying the problem is that at this point with quarterbacks, we keep listening to the same names because we're trying not to be like obvious about it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
After these names were over there from last week, but at this point, I feel like if you're still alive, you probably have like one.
I try not to double up on like 2 weeks in a row. I try not to double up.
But I try too, but like
you aren't wrong because I have chosen a few names.
Who's got like a juicy matchup this year? Like this week, like. You could say like I would be high on Watson coming off of a bad game. I know they got the Colts, but I don't know how many times you can keep that guy down. But he's big name. You got like Jacksonville's a nice matchup if you're Baltimore, but why would I say Lamar? That just seems like unfair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You got I don't know who else. I don't even feel like looking. Let's just topping it. You know what? I'm gonna go with Jared Goff because they're playing the Jets.
That's a
matchup.
Let's hear your side because I have a comment on it.
It's the Jets, and like they could just give Cam Akers the ball 40 carries, but we'll get back to that later. But yeah, it's the Jets, and like if you're streaming quarterbacks, let's be honest here, that's not a bad option.
It's not, and I would agree with you if it was week 11.
Although if you're still alive, you probably have a better option.
Sure. But week 11, I said that Cooper Kupp, I think it was Cooper Kupp, was my league winner or whatever because his matchups were juicy. But like I said, like we talked about multiple times, who knows what the game script's going to be like. But I like to think after Jared Goff only put up like 170 yards last week, was it? Something like that? What's up?
Jared Goff is like the model standard for doing horrible against good teams and great against bad teams. Jets suck. Patriots defense is pretty good. So I know he had a horrible week last week, but like to be honest, that was expected.
That's how I've been going about ranking Jared Goff. Just looking at the matchups, like if it's a good defense, I'm like, trash. Don't play him.
Because if it's a bad defense, I trust Sean McVay to like figure things out. And if it's a good defense, I trust Jared Goff to stand back there.
Clueless. McVay can't be a quarterback himself.
I was the number 1 overall pick.
I mean, did he look – I mean, I didn't watch the game, granted. So
neither did I. And for all I know, he looked like a literal god, and he was being held back by Robert Woods in the Cup. But that would only be well for my start.
The only reason why I knew why he only threw 137 yards, whatever it was, is because I put a bet on it on the under because I had a feeling. But 137 yards, and he still threw a touchdown. I mean, he only had 25 pass attempts. Like you said, Cam Akers got, well, for all we know, he'd get like 40 plus this week. He had 29 last week. And the backups had 2, and Michael Brown didn't even have 1. So it's only 31 carries. So, I mean, I could see – I don't know. I guess I get it. He could have some touchdowns, and it is the Jets, so I guess it does make sense. Speaking of which – after Greg Williams got fired, that Jets defense just looked – I mean, it wasn't good at first, but, I mean, how many points did it allow Seattle to put up? 40? It's absurd. It is absurd.
They're playing well. They know their goal.
They know their goal. Trevor Lawrence. Which one, Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields?
I mean, like
Trevor Lawrence? All right.
Fields scares me. He's like your typical Ohio State quarterback. Like he could very much like turn into like a dual threat like Pro Bowler. He's just got that Ohio State like sticker on him, and recency bias is a thing. And I can't help but look at the other guys that come out of there and be like, that's kind of scary.
And like team's third string quarterback.
And I'm like I feel like I can't really evaluate Fields properly because every time I watch him, he throws at least 2 picks every single time.
To be real, I haven't even watched him at all, so I can't really have an opinion on him.
I don't even remember what game it was, but they were talking about how he's been so great with his decision making. He had like 1 interception in the last 3 weeks, and like the third throw of the game, he throws it directly at the safety. Like, oh, okay,
makes sense. Checks out. Yeah,
that looked improved. Like,
speaking of,
they had another one later in the game, so and that's Jacksonville's problem.
Yeah. Speaking of improvements, though, us Eagles fans, we like to talk about the Eagles, of course.
Oh.
Jalen Hurts came in and gave us a dub. I didn't expect it. I can say I didn't expect it.
I didn't want it.
I didn't want it either.
Take it back.
Exciting win.
Thanks a lot.
I was really hoping
start off real good
on that onside kick.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how Duke Riley got that, but shame on you, Duke.
he shouldn't be on the Jets. The Jets would never pick him up.
Yeah, the Jets would have never won that game.
Yeah.
We need to take lessons from the Jets on how to properly tank at the end of the season to get good players.
Who would have thought? We take notes from the Jets. Who would have thought?
Well, we're obviously not.
Oh, yeah.
Doing a poor job at it.
God, how bad are we if we can't even be the Jets?
This is true.
Can't even lose, right? Maybe.
Speaking of which, though, Jalen Hurts, I had him as a sit last week because I didn't think he was going to do that good, but he ended up having 12 carries for 100-some yards. So that helped his fantasy points. He had 18 fantasy points, something like that. So obviously, rushing upside helped him put up points. And as a result, I'm going to restart him as a start this week against Arizona because, he showed what he could do last week. And I think this is a better week against a worse defense and in a dome, so there's still not going to be any conditions that are going to be altering him. Not like there can be any conditions that alter him with his legs, but even when he was throwing the ball, he just looked natural and nice. I don't know what it was about him. Out of the pocket, he looked beautiful throwing that.
Yeah.
And I like him. I like him a lot. And I'm glad that I got him in Dynasty because, a third-round price tag for a quarterback who puts up 12 carries and 100 yards in his first game as a starter. That was pretty beautiful. But, yeah, he should be able to probably put up –
Carson starts all next season.
You think Carson starts next season?
I think it's very likely. Unless, he continues to play like shit in the offseason and Hurts has a great 4 games. I should say I think it's very possible. I feel like unless they get a huge offer for him, I don't know if they're going to look to trade Wentz unless Hurts plays out of his freaking mind in these last 3 games, which, hey.
Given the conditions of the last game, it's the Saints, you know what I mean? Given those conditions, I would say he played out of his mind to a point. Not necessarily Mahomes' type thing, but
pretty well. They didn't really open up the offense for him. Like they basically did what I was hoping they would do for Carson like the entire season, which is where they like just like had a lot of simple reads and like didn't really do a lot of stuff downfield, and most of it was like quick stuff, but that's fine. That's the appropriate first step you take for a rookie quarterback. I wish we had like considered using some of these short passes with Wentz, but I don't know how much of that was just Wentz being garbage. But also really great that the Saints hadn't allowed a 100-yard rusher in like over 3 seasons, and then they gave up 2 of them. So that I can be happy about because I hate the Saints.
Yeah, that's true.
But that game was also stupid.
On a side note of Jalen Hurts, I am in a predicament, not necessarily a predicament, but I think I'm in a situation where other people might be in as well. And this might just be out there for me. Might just be out there. I'm in the second week of the playoffs, correct? So my quarterback situation, it might not sound like the most questionable, but I have a question. I have Lamar Jackson and I have Jalen Hurts. And I'm super tempted. Maybe it's the Eagle homer in me. Maybe it's the desire to fuck up like I usually do.
Probably that.
Yeah, probably that one.
Probably that.
I don't know who to start. I want to start. I actually switched them in and out a couple times today, and I want to start Jalen Hurts against Arizona, but Lamar Jackson against Jacksonville. I don't know. I really don't know. It's just.
That's a no-brainer in my mind.
Is it Lamar? It has to be Lamar. But I mean,
I'm just looking at it and like, I mean, maybe this is why I'm not in the playoffs because I'm not really sure, but Lamar, he's got the safest ceiling and floor.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I truly don't know about the floor. I think the ceiling is relatively low compared to Jalen Hurts' ceiling, in my honest opinion. But this is.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'd still keep in mind that our line's questionable. Sanders is probably going to get a lot of carries, and our receivers are still garbage.
I mean, the Ravens receivers are pretty garbage too. All they got is Marquise Brown, and they got Willie Snead and a bunch of other scrubs. So I mean,
also can't catch.
Do you need to take a risk? Like looking at the other team, you feel threatened.
Looking into the future. Looking into the future at my running back position, that's the part where I am a little bit uneasy at. I have Kareem Hunt. Okay?
Well, you got running back and Lamar Jackson.
And Jalen Hurts. 12 carries for 100 yards. Can't overlook that.
You can't, but
is he going to do that every game? The answer is an obvious no.
Tua,
But it was against a defense that was ranked, according to Fox. I don't know how accurate that is, but it said it was the first defense. And I mean, obviously their defense is good, so it's definitely a top 5 defense. Arizona's is not. So I mean,
defense look like shit to me. They seem very unaware of like Hurts being able to run. It's almost like he didn't realize he was starting that game.
Let's move forward, I guess, to the next quarterback start, Brandon.
Yeah, Tom Brady. Go with the experienced for your playoffs. Tom Brady against Atlanta. Historically, I mean, Atlanta is one of the worst defenses for the past few years, and I haven't seen much change in that. So I see Tom Brady, and I see him with my eyes looking into the future, picking this defense apart, looking like a damn goat he is, and a starter in fantasy football.
Do you think, as the expert that you are, Brandon, with those eyeballs in the future and whatnot,
yeah,
I also have Tom Brady on my fantasy team. Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and Tom Brady.
All right. So you say you put Hurts in, and he goes out there and puts out a 5-point game, just hypothetically.
He's not that bad.
Would you be more surprised at him putting out a 5-point game, Tom Brady putting out a 5-point game, or Lamar Jackson putting out a 5-point game?
I see what you're saying. I would say
that's what I'm thinking, because I'm thinking, okay, it would go Hurts, Brady, Lamar. Maybe you might think it's Brady, Hurts, Lamar, but I think Lamar's last on that list to surprise you, and I'm going with the safest bet, and that's all I'm trying to say.
That's some valid advice. Look at first choice fantasy Brandon over here giving us some great advice.
First choice decision making.
First choice.
I think you should start Hurts because I want all of you to lose in the playoffs. I want there to be no winner.
Why don't you pick up Nick Foles then and start him?
Or you can pick up Tua Tagovailoa, my sit, and just play him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you saw what. I'm not saying Tua is Jared Goff, but you saw what Goff was doing with the Patriots.
Do we even have to explain this? We're playing the Patriots. Just sit quarterbacks playing them. This has been the
Especially
case
a
now
rookie,
for decades.
especially an unexperienced rookie. I mean, this isn't guaranteed failure, but if we've got other options, I would 100% take them.
He lost Gesicki and Parker. I think Gesicki's definitely out.
Definitely. I did not know those two were completely out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tua Tagovailoa, sit him.
Yeah, I heard Dan Levitard say this. This has got to be like the funniest thing ever. That entering the fourth quarter, they were. I think they were winning the turnover battle. It was either like 4-0 or 4-1, and they were down 20 points. That is hilarious.
Wait.
Pick off Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Down to the Chiefs 30-10, despite the fact they picked off Mahomes 3 times. Like that's got to be a bitch and a half. All we do is talk about. All everyone does literally every week is talk about. We got to win the turnover battle, and they were cruising in that department. They're still getting spanked at home. That's rough. If you want to know how far Miami has to go in the way of things, just look at that game.
The game was fun to watch, though. I was watching that one. I mean, the mistakes, the turnover battle, they did win. It came on fluke interceptions, but I guess it doesn't matter because it still are interceptions. But, yeah, I guess I understand. All right.
I understand your pick, Ed. I think I know what your argument's going to be.
Tannehill?
Yeah.
Against Detroit? Let's hear your thoughts.
My eyes in the future obviously are telling me it's because Derrick Henry is going to feast a late Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, he's just going to shred the Detroit Lions.
Like a pre-Christmas buffet type thing?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, when you're Derrick Henry, you kind of have like a Thanksgiving, Christmas in-between meal, and this is it. He's going to – it's basically –
What about last week? When last week he qualified? He ran for 200 yards?
Oh, yeah, you haven't seen anything yet.
This is just what he does at the end of the year.
400 yards, 4 touchdowns, is that what you're saying?
Essentially, yeah, it's quite possible. Detroit Lions defense is not equipped to defend the rush. And Ryan Tannehill is just going to be watching this massive monster of a man just run all over this defense. But anyway, you can tell us why.
Speaking of the monster of a man that he is, how many yards is he away from getting 2,000 yards? Anybody know?
Not very far.
Maybe 300, 400? Maybe I'm tweeting.
I think it's 400. I do not know. Let me just look it up right here on air.
While you're doing that,
he's currently got 1,532.
So
he's gonna get that. His next games are Detroit, Green Bay, and Houston.
He can probably get do that in Detroit and Houston, so then he just have to get like 100 in Green Bay.
He could get 290, 300, and
I think
Kennedy.
Because Detroit should just go out and stop him. They should just put 11 guys at the front at the line of scrimmage every single time.
Well then, Ed's pick doesn't work now, does it?
My sit might still work because they put 11 people there.
If you stop Derrick Henry, you stop Ryan Tannehill.
It's true.
I'm pretty sure if 11 guys were standing in the box, they would just throw the ball to A.J. Brown standing unoccupied on the outside. And if I was Detroit's defensive coordinator, I'd be like, that's fine. That's better than Henry gashing me.
A.J. Brown's my favorite.
11 guys right here. They're all going to linemen.
Maybe the Lions defense coordinator probably bet the under then for Derrick Henry. His season yards.
Why would he do that? He knows the defense the most. He would know better than that.
Sure. You never know.
Because he's got the game
and
plan
he
that I
can
just
control
described.
the fact that he could just let him run by them. He can't control them to stop him. He doesn't have that power.
I mean, if you put 11 people in the box, I don't care how big you are. I don't know if you're going to be able to get through that every single carry.
I was going to say, you're
gonna
not,
do it once or
he's
twice.
not getting through there.
You're saying Derrick Henry.
No, you're just going to audible and throw the ball to the outside receiver. If all 11 guys are in front of the
Derrick Henry on the outside, yes. Yes, Derrick Henry out wide running streaks. You love to see it.
Moving on.
Let all 11 guys go out.
Yeah, do that, and then just pass it to the other side of the field. Just imagine 11 defensive men over here.
As long as it's
not the whole other part of the team.
Oh,
that's a good move. Well, talk about Teddy Bridgewater and the
there's nothing to talk about. I'm pretty sure every receiver
Panthers.
he's ever had has been out. They are not McCaffrey-less right now. So let's all shut your fucking mouth.
Maybe.
Oh,
who knows? He might pull another groin. Whatever.
Yeah, he'll probably miss play for the rest of the season because that's 2020, man. All the McCaffrey owners get screwed. Because this man, he's just going to suffer some phantom injury after recovering from his quad injury.
Are you trading him?
No.
Are you more willing to trade him now than you have ever been?
No. Unless I get a shit ton for him, but no. Because
like a Saquon Barkley. Well, I guess that's kind of essentially the same thing. Well, not the same thing. You get what I mean.
On a worse team.
He's coming off on an IR. That's why I backtracked. Dalvin Cook.
I'd consider moving anyone, but price round to be good.
Derrick Henry. Oh, Derrick Henry. I know that.
Henry, so it wouldn't matter.
You got a soft spot.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I wouldn't trade McCaffrey for Henry. I like McCaffrey. And he's going to be fine.
Tell us about Teddy Bridgewater. We're not even on running backs yet.
I just did.
Okay.
His entire receiving core is out. He's playing Green Bay.
My question.
That's it.
Question.
What's your question?
This is like an Alex question. Brandon, you can nudge your way in if you know what I'm talking about. But the Panthers, you know what I'm saying? So they're towards the bottom. I think they're in the bottom 10, top 10 draft pick wise. Chances of them getting a quarterback. Do you think Teddy B is a guy still next year?
I mean, I feel like that just depends on the team. If whoever's doing the drafting falls in love with a non-Trevor Lawrence quarterback and he's within range, then yeah, I think they take that guy. But I don't really think we're near the point of them falling in love with anyone because I think that's what it would take. I mean, if I like
team even need?
I could see them.
Is the offensive line good there?
Probably not.
Yeah, I guess.
Defense is bad though, so I guess that might be a
focal point to draft.
I could see them just trying to snag a Micah Parsons and call it a day. Although, I mean, if their GM really has a hard-on for Trey Lance or something, then I could very well see him getting drafted there.
Speaking of upcoming rookies, what about last year's rookies? They're just freaking overpowering these starts.
The running backs, they just pop
up. What happens at the end of fantasy every year? I feel a little vindicated from this because all of your kind of that mid-tier level of running backs, your Gurleys, your David Johnsons, all of those guys have filtered out. They're gone.
And then
pretty much done. So
the rookies that were faded out in the beginning of the year, they come out of the woodwork.
The top tier and the rookies beyond the James Conner, Todd Gurley, David Johnson tier of players.
Nonsense.
Very happy to have stayed out of there because now everyone with a Gurley is rolling in the playoffs. Shit.
It's true.
You snag Mixon in the first round this year in that boat too. But life sucks.
McCaffrey in the first round.
Or Saquon.
No.
So let's make this easy. I got J.K. Dobbins against Jacksonville, one of the freaking worst defenses against the run.
Yeah, that's the explanation.
Yeah. And Mark Ingram only had 2% of snaps last night, so I'm not sure what that was about.
Did I not try to tell you guys this?
What's that?
that Mark Ingram was done.
I believe.
When did you say that? When did you?
In the offseason.
He said at the beginning of the season. He did.
Okay.
When we were doing the AFC North, and I had Ingram like way down on the list of running backs, and like you two were hot and bothered by it.
All right, take your win. Take your win. I'll allow it.
They're filtering him out. That's just what happens. He's now the veteran old guy. I stand on the sideline in case I'm needed.
I had J.K. Dobbins at third. I had J.K. Dobbins at third. Mark Ingram at 5. You had Mark Ingram at 6. So it's not that far off, but I mean, I still believed in him.
I moved Ingram up like a slot or two after like receiving a lot of harsh criticism and just wanted to appease the masses.
Where did I have him?
Brandon had Mark Ingram at 3.
Oh God, my career is over. Why did I even ask?
A lot of bigger whiffs on there between all of them.
Definitely, 100%.
Trying to like predict that stuff in the summer.
Sure. Yeah.
It sounds good in the summer, and then you see the first week, and you're like, you don't realize.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Matt Breida would be a great buy for the Dolphins, and then he like,
right?
I got hurt in training camp or something. I don't know. He just like the version of him that played in San Francisco did not make his way to Miami.
Oh, good segue. Ed, go on about Lynn Bowden.
Lynn Bowden, so he's like not even a running back, but he's listed as a running back and a wide receiver for the Dolphins. They used him as a quarterback too, which was weird. He was used a lot on like trick plays, just jet sweeps, the same exact play over and over and over again, trying to do like a end around quarterback pass, some random shit. But they were using him a lot, so I guess that's like a good look. Plus, Myles Gaskin might still be out. He has COVID. Salvin Ahmed hurt his shoulder or whatever. He's been out since like week 11. And then look on the outside wide receivers. Obviously, he's considered a running back in this position, but he's also flexed out to wide receiver on sleeper. I know that. But the wide receivers they have, Devontae Parker's hurt. Lynn Bowden had, I think, 11 targets or something absurd last week used in the slot. So, I mean, that's I think that's going to be Tua's best look against the Patriots. And I just think he's going to get a lot of targets, if not carries, say he does start getting used as a running back because DeAndre Washington looked ineffective last week, and the Patriots' run defense is pretty porous. So Lynn Bowden at running back or wide receiver, wherever the hell you start him because might be a league winner. You never know.
And lead the team in touches.
Exactly, with Mike Gesicki.
I'm going to make this quick and to the point. As I mentioned earlier, Cam Akers is my start because all of a sudden he's the bell cow.
Out of literally nowhere, but I fuck with it.
Out of literally nowhere. Like 1 week he's playing a third of the snaps. The next week, 21 carries, then like 28 carries. So 35 carries today against the Jets, and we'll have a solid game.
Let's hope for it.
And I'm going to hop in with these sits. As I mentioned earlier, Todd Gurley is my sit because, boy, did that wagon crashed quickly.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what happened. Like he played like a third of the snaps last week. That's not great if you're depending on him in the playoffs. And I wouldn't.
If they're still in the playoffs,
landmine.
A lot of Gurley teams might not even have lasted.
No, definitely not. I would imagine not. But
hey man, X is counting on him and ours, but gonna happen.
Isn't he in the toilet bowl? No, he's out of the toilet bowl.
No, I'm talking about the other dynasty.
Oh, the dynasty, yeah.
The long forgotten, step some dynasty league.
Facts, yeah. Riley didn't miss his lineup. David Johnson and Leonard Fournette were in there. I beat him by like 6 points. If you would have put anybody else in, I would have lost. But
in the playoffs?
Yeah, first round. Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna get on him about that. Unacceptable.
I picked a great week to have a bye week because my players all had trash matchups and they performed as expected. But I had first round bye, so I'm good as shit.
Well, I've got Kenyon Drake as a sit against Philadelphia. If one thing's working on this defense, it's against the run game. Philadelphia's defense has also improved pretty all around. So
Hargrave is playing well.
Yeah. So
which is neat considering all the money they invested in him.
Yeah.
So Drake is a sit against Philadelphia.
I agree with that.
I think it's valid as well.
They're going to beat us with Hopkins if they're going to beat us. Hopkins, or I'm sure Isabella will probably get a deep bomb touchdown.
He was a scratch last week.
Was he really?
Well, shit. I would bet on Christian Kirk because our opposite corner right now is looking like it might be like Kavon Seymour, who I'd never heard of.
Isn't Slay hurt too?
Yeah.
He left the game injured, but he's left a bunch of games injured, so I don't know if he's
usually he left like once the game's done with. But
I want to point out because Rodney McLeod gets hurt. They literally give up a deep touchdown immediately. Put some fucking respect on that guy's name.
Moving on.
Yeah,
Rodney.
What I thought.
From Rodney. What about Kareem Hunt? No respect on his name either? After last week?
No one's trying to tell me about how he sucks.
Dominant. Well, Ed's trying to.
Wait, about who? Rodney?
No, about Kareem Hunt.
Oh, Kareem. Yeah. So, well, he's on my most of these things are my fantasy team, like debacles, like the problems that I have. So Kareem Hunt, I have him as my running back 2 practically. So I have Aaron Jones, Kareem Hunt, DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins. I am sitting Kareem Hunt against the Giants, which might seem like a little bit of a questionable move, but this is my thought process behind it. Right here. Kareem Hunt played like 30% of the snaps last night, something like that. The only reason why he actually salvaged a good fantasy day was because the Browns put up 40 points. If the Browns didn't put up 40 points, they probably would have put up like maybe 17, and he wasn't getting a touchdown out of that 17 points, especially on the limited action he's getting. You know what I mean? So he's not getting many opportunities. The landmine of a touchdown in which he had, or the 2 that he had last night, really made him look like he had a great fantasy game. But he had 7 catches maybe, 5 carries on 30% of snaps, something limited like that. I'm not liking that, especially not against the Giants. The Giants, who I don't think there's going to be many points put up. So I don't think they're going to use him much, especially in the passing game or even in the running game. And, just sit him smartly because there are many other matchups. Like we're talking about Lynn Bowden, J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers, 3 rookies that I'm sure if you didn't already snag him up for cheap, I'm sure Lynn Bowden's out there on the waiver wire. Just snag him up, put him at your running back position. Boom. Problem solved. You like that, Boom?
Stop it.
All right. One of these here receivers.
All right, let's hear the receivers.
Yeah, who's going Boom, man?
We can have Brandon go Boom with the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, the Michelorian. Terry McLaurin. He's out. And all because of a misspell. He is now McLaurin, even though none of us know anything about the Mandalorian. So
yeah.
I plan on watching it. I just have not gotten around to it.
I don't have Disney Plus, so.
Yeah, Haskins is in, or at least he was in last week. I want to stay away from Terry McLaurin this week.
He's your start, though.
He is my start, yes.
This guy. All right.
Backtrack. Cut
you
that.
Want to backtrack? Cut that.
I don't know why. I read Alex's thing saying, Brandon, don't you dare sit him. And I was like, wait, he was my sit as I was talking? And that's why I was kind of like stuttering. And then I was like, okay, I guess I said he was a sit. And then I was like, wait, against Seattle?
Read the quotes.
What?
All right, hold on. We're just...
Yeah, this is all being scratched.
You don't need to explain that. We'll just move along. I'm going to explain something here. Because tonight I had Brandon, quote, don't you dare sit his ass, end quote, AU, because we had this argument last week, and my man erupted. Had he got a touchdown, it would have been a monster day. That's why I'm calling for wide receiver 1, 20-plus points against Dallas. That dude can ball. Love it.
Oh, okay.
Argument with supreme confidence. Ed has
a pepper on mind, maybe.
Oh.
Alex is not the type to do it. So, yeah, not the type to do it.
It's not the
jalapeno shot is just delicious.
A jalapeno for the entertainment purposes is not worth it.
No, because nobody watches these videos.
You're right. You're not wrong at all.
We're just freaking torturing ourselves.
You gotta understand it. I
Entertainment.
try to be an efficient gambler, and it's just not a reasonable risk for me. However, I am pretty confident that AU is going to blow up because my man's put up 15 plus points in like 4 consecutive games, and Debo got hurt again, which is like the single most common phrase of these last like 2 years.
That's why I traded him. Goodbye,
but
Debo.
Dude can play. Dude's been playing receiver for like 3 years in his life, and he's already a monster. They're playing Dallas, #1 receiver. He's putting up some points.
I suppose I will support that.
Don't even otherwise.
Backtrack real quick. Go right backpedal to
what?
the McLaurin.
What do you need to talk about McLaurin for? It's McLaurin against the Seahawks.
Just clarifying his start, that's all.
I think we understood.
I would sit him, though, personally, but I vibe with it.
I mean, Haskins, when he was in, did pretty good with McLaurin. McLaurin has done well with any quarterback. That's
just that anyone in there is going to target him because their receiver is like Camp Sims.
I mean, the past 2 weeks, he has gotten like 5 targets combined. That's not that good.
Seattle.
Well, doubt, Ed. Maybe you want to put Pepper on this.
Start Brandon.
You're going to doubt so hard.
I'm not putting on Pepper on this because he's on my fantasy team. I want him to start. I want him to be good. I want him to do.
But you just said he was going to sit.
I would probably sit him if I had somebody to put in there. I'm not going to start Jacoby Myers over him. So Terry McLaurin should probably be started.
Pick up Ayuk.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's at.
He's on Cam's team, so that's not.
Cam's in the toilet bowl. It's fine.
Yeah, let me just grab him. Commissioner Powers. I'll just snag him real quick.
just snap him out of there.
If you took one of my bench players from me, I wouldn't even know because I'm in the toilet bowl too, and I'm not paying attention.
You could pull my starters out, and I'd be like, well, that's odd.
Yeah, I'd be like, didn't I have this guy?
Well, I guess
in another league.
Well, I guess teams that got a first-round bye are allowed to take players off of the losing team's team. Such is life.
Guillotine type. All right. Moving forward, we're going to talk about sits at wide receiver. And
you talk about your start, Ed.
Oh, I didn't even talk about my start? Who the hell's my start? Oh, Mike Evans.
Boom.
I feel like, boom? Is this just boom? You just drop the word boom, and then everybody gets it. All right, Mike Evans, boom.
Boom.
Now,
Atlanta. Well, if you heard the Tom Brady argument, you heard the Mike Evans argument.
Yeah, if you can connect dots, good. If you can't,
as many can.
Or if you can hear and understand the word boom.
Boom.
That's true.
Boom
can explain. It can mean multiple different things. Like boom, like explosion, like. Can't really make that judgment.
Isn't that a good one for fantasy, though? If we're
done, what's the other option?
Boom. Fantasy.
Yeah.
Maybe Mike Evans, boom.
That's possible.
Like the official first flight.
Yeah.
Pass interference, man.
Boom.
Right.
Enough of the booming.
Enough booms.
I'm just going to jump into this. Jarvis Landry, he didn't perform.
No boom.
Yeah, not booming, didn't boom last week. I mean, although last week was a game of rushing touchdowns galore, this is a good Giants defense. No matter if I'm an Eagles fan or not, that's just what they are. They've been pretty solid. And I think Jarvis Landry is not going to have a great fantasy day.
You heard it here. You heard it here first.
Jarvis
Landry. No boom.
No booms. Millennial type.
No boom.
All right, Alex, me and you both have a combo of receivers. I have like a quadruplet, if that's a thing, and you have a combo. So let's just hear yours real quick.
I'd say I put Chark and Visca because, I guess I'm just not counting Keelan Cole as a person. But if he puts up 2 consecutive valid fantasy outings, then more power to him. But I'm sitting, DJ Chark comes out of his bye against Houston, scores 24 points. I know that man got traded for good thing because I saw it happen. I think multiple times. People were very high on that. Since then, in the 5 weeks to follow, he has put up about 22 points, I think. This is in our half PPR league combined. So
I also traded that guy, Debo and him, shipped them away. Now I've got Will Fuller, Saquon Barkley, and other guys that I forget.
I don't think you traded those guys directly for that.
I mean, not directly for those guys, but ultimately, that's what I came out with.
Saquon, Will Fuller.
That's going to help you win a championship this week, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
No.
Sitting Shark and Visca, because I would imagine they'll get a decent amount of targets, but they're going to struggle against Baltimore. That offense can't find a rhythm to begin with. They're bouncing around quarterbacks like nobody's business, and they got
Gardner Minshew, though.
Baltimore.
Just reminding you, Gardner.
Sharks had
Minshew
344 targets last week and still finished with 3 points.
Minshew.
Is not the
Gardner.
Comfortable with.
So I just want to point out the man's name for one thing. Let's just make this like a thing. Lavadka Chenault.
Yes.
So just moving forward, I'm going to refer to him as Lavadka as much as possible. So I would assume you guys would
Lavadka as well. Chenault. That just sounds like a shot. Lavadka Chenault.
Because I think Visca sounds a lot cooler than Lavadka. So
it does, but like Lavadka, you got to normalize it, you know.
Yeah.
Vodka's like the
general known thing. Yeah.
But
no. All right. It's Laviska. It is Laviska. Don't get it mixed up. Don't get it. Don't get it mixed up.
I'm not even adding.
Gotta get a Lamiska. It's a Lamiska with Lavadka.
Don't get it mixed up with Lavadka. All right, Laviska. So my sits.
All right, moving on.
Yeah,
we're still talking about this.
Lions wide receivers against Tennessee. Okay. Even if Kenny Golladay somehow starts to play after his ghost hip injury that he's been out for 4 weeks, some crazy shit. If he plays against Tennessee, likely going to have Chase Daniel at the helm, which is not good. So, yeah.
I've got a real quick question. Is Kenny Golladay on a contract here?
Yes.
He needs to leave. He needs to go now.
Probably.
And come to the Philadelphia Eagles. Welcome.
Yeah, we don't have cap space.
Kenny Golladay. Open arms.
Literally no way.
It's going to be a sign-in trade, dude. We're going to trade away Carson Wentz.
Those don't happen in the NFL.
Yes, we're going to trade Carson Wentz for Kenny Golladay. It's pretty simple. Real easy. He's going to leave anyway, so why not just give it to us? Alex is thinking. He's thinking throwing a few somethings in there. And
the problem with signing trades is the way
Stafford's also coming up on a contract. He needs a contract. You know it's right.
Yeah, a few deals.
You want it.
I think he still has 2 more years.
I would love to have Kenny Golladay. We literally cannot add him. So.
All right. Well, then we'll just move on to the tight ends. Damn. Just trying to make it.
Crushing his dreams, man.
Yeah. God, man.
Because your dreams have got to be. If you're dreaming for Golladay, I'm here to crush it now. That's like me, dreaming that a helicopter is just going to land next to me and some guy's going to walk out and hand me $1 billion. Yep, have a good day.
Alex, it happens, okay?
Let us Eagles fans have more delusions.
No. Let them
I'm
be
sure
reasonable.
The Cardinals weren't just walking around being like, oh, we're going to get D-Hop in a trade.
Yeah, but
for
D-Hop was available for trade. Also, they had the cap space to sign him. We have negative $70 million in cap space next season, and Kenny Golladay is going to want $15 million a year. Maybe you could double check the math there, but I don't see us clearing $100 million in salary cap.
If enough Eagles fans start to GoFundMe, we can get this done in a matter of an off season. Listen, Alex, every problem you present, it is solvable.
Every problem is solvable in the world.
Yes.
That's a quarterback.
Yeah, with time. We can get Golladay in 8 years.
No, unacceptable. We're not getting another damn Alshon Jeffrey.
Yes, we are, and you're going to be happy about it.
We'll end up with it. Yeah.
Into these tight ends. I see Brandon will not be burned with Robert Tonyan once again.
Never.
I saw today that Robert Tonyan shows up on Sleeper as a tight end wide receiver.
He does, indeed.
That's just wild. Didn't know that.
Put up 12 points this week. So.
I am pleasantly surprised with him, I guess. I don't love him. I just don't have any, feelings towards the fantasy player Robert Tonyan, but I think he's got a good matchup this week, and he's been doing it. I think he's done great ever since the bye week. I believe it's been like 4 weeks above double-digit numbers, so keep rolling that man out. He's pretty much like Ed's start. I'm not sure what Alex's start has been doing, but yeah, consistent tight ends here today. Alex
doesn't really come very often.
Thanks.
How's yours been doing? Tell us about your start, Alex.
It's gonna go first.
Oh,
I'm gonna go first with divisional player, the tight end in the division, T.J. Hawkinson. If you guys want to hear the real reasoning, let me explain it. So, I'm sitting here doing my start sit. My girlfriend's in the room, right? I go, who's going to start a tight end for week 15 in the NFL? You know what she said?
TJ.
She said T. I was like, T. Higgins? That's not applicable. TJ Hawkinson? And she said, TJ?
That's the guy.
That was it. I was like,
I'm glad to know you're taking this whole thing seriously.
Let's be real with tight ends. There is no.
I'm just kidding, again.
I was just going to say, she must be smart because that's one of the few guys that I would just set my starting lineup and forget about.
Yep.
Exactly. You have to.
Number 3 tight end for the year.
A Kelsey
too, yeah.
A Waller. Or a healthy Kittle, but nobody has any of those right now.
Nobody has any healthy Kittles in stock.
Nice
thing. Not a lot of healthy George Kittles around.
Yeah. But yeah, T.J. Hawkinson plays Tennessee, and he had 11 targets last week, and I think Chase Daniel is not going to go to the wide receiver. He's going to go to the T.J. Hawkinsons, the healthy ones that are underneath with DeAndre Swift.
He's probably going to see Marvin Jones 25 yards downfield and be like, I can't throw that.
Yeah.
Where's TJ? 7 yards away.
TJ. Everybody's looking for TJ. Come on now. Yeah, he's a good start. Tight end. Probably going to be tight end 3 on the week, so valid.
All right. This is why I changed the class, because my sit is incorporated into this. The tight ends are just a mind fuck anymore. And playing in this other league that I've been in, tight end is the one position that I have tried all year to shore up. And I've gone through like 12 of them. And I find myself in the playoffs, hopefully rolling with Rob Gronkowski, who is an exciting, if inconsistent option. Had a great game against Kansas City, had not so great a game last week. He had like 1 target that he scored on against Minnesota. And I was looking at Gronk against the Falcons and Hayden Hurst against the Bucks, and I was like, you know what? I'm sitting one, I'm starting the other. So I'm starting Gronk, and I'm sitting Hurst.
I like that decision.
I decided it was going to be feast and famine, and Gronk is going to eat the Falcons.
I like to hear that.
Falcons, and Hayden Hurst is going to have a dud. That's what we're calling this week.
It's going to be a good bird dinner, huh?
Yes. The Bucs are going to be eating the birds, all they can handle.
Indeed. Every Falcon in the world.
All of them.
Every single one. All right.
Gronk.
Yeah, Gronk's eating every single one. Not everybody. Just Gronk. Actually, no. Gronk, Brady, and Evans. Yeah, they're gonna have
he's going to run out there. He's going to pick up Deion Jones and just toss him out of the stadium.
No. He's going to pick him up. He's going to toss him over to Gronk, and he's going to eat him.
Gronk's going to toss Deion Jones.
He's going to toss
over to Gronk on
the length of the field, and then he runs like one of those commercials, and then catches him in his mouth, and he's just
with the ball still in his hand too.
Yes.
I think that's the least impressive part of it, with the ball in his hand.
Yeah,
I think the running the length of the field and swallowing a man whole is more like Whoa! They're
like
holding a ball.
All I care about is the 75-yard touchdown that he would have gotten on that play, because that makes him a valid start right there.
That's true. That's true.
All right.
It's like 14 points.
This week, I'm sitting Logan Thomas against Seattle. If there's one thing Seattle can do, it's, I guess, guard the tight ends. And Haskins, when he was in, I don't believe Logan Thomas had, as successful and consistent games as he has been doing with Alex Smith.
What are we doing?
Oh, there he is. And yeah, Logan Thomas is a sit this week.
Fair. All right. You want to hear my sit of tight end position? It is.
No.
Man, the myth. The Hunter is not going to boom this week, okay? So Hunter is playing against the Raiders, right? Last time he played the Raiders, he put up 5 points, right?
How much you want to bet people are thinking, who the fuck is Hunter?
They're
trying to think of a tight end named Hunter.
Hunter Bryant?
Hunter Bryant, Detroit. Yeah. He was on Detroit. I don't know where he is now.
It's another blue team. Hunter Henry, okay? So he plays the Raiders, put up 5 points last time they met. He's questionable after he got injured with, what was it, a hip injury. So Kenny Galladay 2.0, but 3.0, but 1.0, if that makes sense. So Hunter Henry has like a 2.0 GPA is what I'm saying. And he's going to be a sit this week against the Raiders.
Academically ineligible.
Literally. The Raiders matchup is also bad. Like I said, he played bad against them, and Lord knows we plays. So sit him because he's academically and physically ineligible to play this week against the Raiders.
If he's questionable, he's just not going to play because every time we list someone that's even remotely questionable, they end up missing a month. So
true.
Kenny Galladay. You said him.
Kenny Galladay 1.0, Kenny Galladay 2.0, Kenny Galladay 3.0. This is first Short Fantasy 4.0. And what are we doing, boys?
We're leaving.
We're leaving. So what are they going to do?
Click of a button. They're going to like, comment, subscribe, do it all.
And what is that going to look like whenever they click on it?
I'm sure Ed could show us.
Boom! That's what it's going to look like. That's it.
Whoa. That was intimidating.
Very loud.
I was thinking you were going to, put up the thumb. The like.
Click the like button.
And then write us a comment.
And if you want,
subscribe.
If you really don't like this video, like if you've gotten this far, I doubt you don't like the video. Come on now. So click the button that looks like this. So it's either this or this. We prefer this, but this also counts. Thank you.
We don't accept lying here.
Imagine watching like 30 plus minutes of a video that you just actively hate. God, this is so bad. I'm going to keep watching.
Gonna have to freaking dislike this video.
Maybe it'll get better.
God.
Maybe it'll get better. We hope.
The vodka, what the hell is
like
that?
The start of it.
What the hell is La Vodka? Some Italian dude. I can see it. We're still recording, aren't we? Shit.
Yes, we are.
Yes. Bye.
And now we're leaving. Goodbye.